And you don't need to be yourself. If you like, you can also play the role of a client, no, that you're seeing and say, oh, I mean, I wonder what may be happening in that client that I have with the family, with someone that will help you to have a
I
look
can
at that.
add
Who's that?
Christina.
Cristina. Okay, Cristina, tell me.
So it is about a client, and how should I put this? Should I take the role of the client?
Just explain to me and then I tell you.
All right. So a client, she has two little children. The husband handed in the divorce after 3 years separation, and she's devastated, and she's terrified. She found out the ex-husband actually has already a new relationship, and she feels like drowning. She feels like drowning, and her reaction is anger, control, fear, not being a good enough mother, new woman taking her children away. She cannot find peace at all. So
Okay.
she's in a spiral of panic and
Yeah. So we're going to use this technique, but in that situation, I will use another technique on the play of life that will help her to see where she is. If you don't mind, I'll give you a little bit of role theory. Not role theory. We're using that theory in our course on the play of life. I invite you if you're interested in that, and it's called tense field and relax field. So it comes from ethology, from animal behavior. They put
wow.
a dog in the middle of the room with bars, but the bars are only in the middle of the room. There is a space between the bars and the walls. And they put a very, very hungry dog in one place and very, very close to the bars, and they put food on the other side. The animal is so exasperated to eat, so hungry, that goes from one place to another, but because it's so close to the bars, can only see bars, so we cannot eat. So he gets exhausted and goes to sleep. And then when he goes to sleep, when he wakes up, I don't know if it happened to you, but physiologically, if I go to sleep hungry, I don't wake up hungry. The hypothalamus takes around 15 minutes to accommodate and to see that I'm hungry, okay, after sleeping. So when the dog wakes up, he's not hungry. So he's able, the other one is called tense field. So when the dog wakes up and is relaxed, it's called relaxed field, is able to see that the room is bigger than the bars and is able to go around and eat. So why we teach that is because it's good to identify if our clients are in a relaxed field or tense field.
Yes.
So in a tense field, is they're trapped by the bars. And our presence, so why the animal is able to go to relaxed field, first is to have distance from the problem, and then to rest. So this is a metaphor that how in our session the person could feel contained by us, she can rest and start seeing that there are bars, but there is also a way out. Does that make sense?
It makes total sense, and there is a lot of resistance due to childhood neglect and ambivalent father, and she's still in that loop. She's in that loop.
Yes, she's spinning there. This is why
Yes.
in the play of life, we teach techniques. One is the pillars of life that will help the person to defocus, to have a distance of the problem. And sometimes it's like magic. It's not magic, but it's magic. But you are maybe the only container that this person has.
Yes.
So you are the sacred space for that, lucky her. Lucky her.
I hope it helps.
Well, it is. But going to her, I'd like for you to be her and choose a name for her.
Alex.
Alex. Okay, Alex? Alex, I'd like for you to think of a dynamic with your ex-husband, in a conversation, that dynamic with an ex-husband that usually ends not well.
I moved to the city because of him, and I don't feel well here. And I tell him, I don't want to be here. I want to go back home to the little village where we came from. And he tells me constantly, you will feel the same. So he invalidates my feeling that I don't feel well in the city. And this is just one of the small tensions.
Good, let's go there. So, Alex, when you tell your ex-husband, choose a name for him.
Jim.
Jim, okay. Alex, when you talk to Jim, how do you feel when you tell him, I don't want to be in the city? How do you feel when you are while you are talking to him?
I already feel afraid because
I feel afraid. So you are afraid or fearful?
Insecure.
Insecure.
My self-esteem is very low. I think, should I look for more?
Oh, no, it's okay. So one is enough. More than that is better. So what I do is, as a therapist, I write it down. Okay. So this is how you feel, and what do you do? How do you express that?
I try to tell him in a very this quiet voice. I'm afraid to even approach because I don't want confrontation. But I tell him, I'm so unhappy here. I'm so unhappy. I want to go back home in our little village.
And we said that you are a quiet informer?
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you do that, how does he respond? So what I do is I write.
Right.
I write on the right, I write the client.
Yes.
And then I do an arrow. Arrow like this. And then I put Jim on the top here. How does Jim respond to that?
He is I have the feeling he's not even listening. He says, what? Here is much better. I can make a career here, and you can raise the children better here. There are more options. So he literally...
Let's go to emotion. Which emotion would he feel? Just roll reverse, and let's see. When I open my heart, and I'm a quiet informer.
Yes.
But also I'm afraid. I imagine the person may even shaky or something like that.
Yes. Yeah.
In the way he responds, which emotion do you perceive from Jim?
Righteous. He has right, and I feel unseen and like no value. I feel sad.
Like a patronizer?
Totally. Yes, thank you. Yes.
Then I make another arrow, that when I present that, and he responds like a righteous patronizer and
Yes,
dismisser too, no?
absolutely. Yes, yes,
We need to be careful when we do this, not to put words from ourselves, but
totally. This is why I go back and focus
yeah, good. But as a therapist, it's
as a
good to ask the
therapist.
person, this is what I write, and to use the term of the person. And sometimes I could add a little bit, but we need to be very careful not to be leading. Okay,
To let the
very
person
important.
come up
Because if
with.
not, I'm projecting myself into that, into the dynamic. So it's important for the person to have her own X-ray. Yeah,
Totally.
it's like I have
Yeah.
a pain in my neck, and the person goes to have an X-ray, but I share my X-ray. You know, so this is a respect. So when I hear that, how does it make me feel?
It makes me feel ambivalent. I don't know anymore what's
Feeling
right or wrong.
as a confused.
Confused, insecure. And I'm very triggered because it reminds me of how my father made me feel as a child.
Excellent. So triggered. Excellent. So I'm a confused, insecure, troubled because I'm thinking of my father.
Yes,
But
I
but
know.
but in relation to Jim, what role do I play?
I play the mm,
This is technique we're using is what we do for supervision. When the therapist become the client and force you to say, gee, there are things that I don't know.
wow, it's very powerful. I just realized. So in this situation now, when I feel like I'm against the wall and I don't know anymore what's right or wrong. I'm very confused, and I start resenting myself. I start blaming myself. I'm not a good wife. I'm not a good mother. I don't know. He knows best. For sure don't know what's good for my children. Uh, I want too much, blah, 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 and so on. So
Good.
I
Okay.
turn to myself.
Stay with me. You're a confused, insecure, against the wall facing. Can you see how the action is very literal? No, actually, against the wall. Against
Yes,
the wall. Are
I
you
feel cornered.
facing a cornered? Cornered? Do you feel facing the wall or your back on the wall?
I feel cornered with my back in the wall, but no escape. And as if and now I just realized that the main question or my main problem spiraled into something bigger.
Beautiful. So when I said you're facing the wall, it was my mistake. Is because you say against the wall,
Against,
no,
yeah,
against the wall, but now you added cornered without
cornered
escape.
without
So
escape.
this dynamic and his response makes me feel confused, insecure, cornered,
Correct.
without escape,
Correct.
and that trigger in me a sense of resentment of what I feel, doubting of myself as a
Total doubt
mother,
on myself.
and I know that I learned that role with my father. Okay,
Yes.
what happened after that? So when Jim sees that, what does he do? So
turns around.
we do the role cascade until the end.
Yes, yes. And he lets me standing there and dismiss. I'm like,
So he's
gates closed. He takes the decision.
He's a dismisser.
Yes.
In which
And
way does he do dismisser?
he turns
Attentive
around,
dismisser, angry dismisser, ignoring dismisser.
ignoring. For him, the conversation is closed, and he decided we are not moving. We are staying in the city.
So why he said we are not moving? Are they living together?
Well, now not anymore, but this was the start of the
okay, good. Just to know. And that finished like this?
Yes, a lot more happened.
So after that, how does she end in this dynamic?
The dynamic ends that me, Alex, wants to separate. I feel somehow I can't take this anymore. This is for me. I don't know. I cannot explain.
Stay there. So how do you feel?
I feel like drowning. I feel like drowning in this relationship, not seen, not heard. I feel like a piece of furniture, in her words.
So you feel like an it.
Oh, correct.
So
yes.
So we do that with the Martin Buber theory, or the I and thou and I and it.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So I'm feeling drawing, and what do I do?
And I want to set a boundary. It's enough. I want to leave this relationship. I want a divorce.
So the question here will be, am I drowning boundary setter that is very clear, or am I drowning escaper, for example?
This is much better. Yes, I'm a drowning escaper.
Escaper.
Yes, I don't know how to set boundaries.
So look at the roles, no? If I can read my writing. I'm unafraid, fearful, insecure, quiet, informer. Okay?
Yes.
I started ambivalent. Ambivalent, fragmented.
Totally. Yes.
The response from him makes me feel confused, insecure, cornered.
Yes.
Trapped. Is
yes.
that constructive or fragmenting?
Fragmenting.
And after that, he's an ignoring dismisser. And that process triggers me, my relationship with my father.
Yes.
I feel drowning, but I'm not a drowning boundary setter that is starting to put some kind of constructive role.
Correct.
No, I'm an escape. I'm spinning.
Correct. And what's important that after I'm a drowning escaper and want to divorce and do a separate, I am going back and thinking, oh, did I do the right thing? What am I doing? This is not good.
Self-doubt.
A lot of self-doubt.
So in this dynamic, who has the power?
My ex-husband.
Of course. The ex-husband. So you feel that you are responding there as a creative genius or like a robot?
Like a robot.
Of course.
Like in my childhood.
So he's the role giver and you're the role taken.
Correct.
So Alex, in our process, we need to learn how to become a creative genius. How to find the space where you can empower yourself.
Yes.
Okay? Now, in this dynamic, where do you think that you have a little bit of power to break it? I read it again. It started afraid or fearful, insecure, low self-esteem, quite informal. And then I went to confused, insecure, cornered.
I think when the moment of feeling cornered and trapped, then I can start saying, just a moment.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
breathe a little. Let's see what's happening.
but if you are already cornered, it's too late.
Before.
Exact, before. So now, looking at the story again, so you're quietly, in the best way you do, but shaky and fearful, you share with your husband, and your husband is a righteous patronizer, dismisser.
Yes.
What role, ideally, you think that you can play there?
Maybe maybe trying to validate his emotions, but I'm so trapped in this old role.
You're not there. You're not fully trapped now. You're a little bit trapped because you're afraid and fearful. Yes. So there are two things here. One is, what can you do as a point of power after that? But also, if this is too late, also, what can be your warm up in preparation of talking with him? Is this dynamic the first time that happened?
No, a lot
no, of course.
And always.
Of course. So what could be your warm up that instead of starting the conversation afraid, fearful, insecure, low self-esteem, and a quiet presenter, what role you feel that you could present that you're more empowered?
To simply be quiet, not respond, not react. To be curious, actually.
To be curious.
The role of the curious, what it's our, I don't know. The curious, yes, to be curious, to be aware of my reactivity.
Good. So what about Alex, if you leave the session with that and start playing with two possibilities? One is as a warm-up. How can I warm up to be more, even the choice of a place, where to talk? Where? No, in a coffee shop, in a park, in a house.
In a park. I love to go take walks.
Yes.
I want to talk in a park.
So how can I find a place, because we live in the place and time, a place that I can be more secure on my foot, on my strength, and if I become afraid or whatever, I find a way to shift the conversation and to stop it. Yes. Because I need to break that pattern. You need to break that pattern.
Yes, I need to feel safe and seen.
Yes. Beautiful.
Yes.
On the other hand, I'd like to put a seed in you to say, what about if this person has a sociopathic or pathological thing that they cannot see you? I just wrote an article about Trump, a model of empathy. Okay? So I'd love you to read it.
Okay? I would love to.
Yeah, because it may apply here. He may be a very clever person who might know you more than yourself. And the question is, do you need to play the role of a question? I would like to go there of that. Or you need to build that in your therapy. What you need to do and then you may need to be a clear informer.
Yes, I want clarity. Yes,
So
I
how
want
to
to
be
be
a
a
clear
clear
informer.
informer.
So it's a lot of homework here, Alex, but one is find a place and also what role as an emotion and an action I can play by being on my feet. And if I feel that he's patronizing or avoiding or put me down, I would say, now I know you, but I'm not going to respond to that.
Exactly. This is how I want to be.
Beautiful. And then we can talk on another time on how to deal with your father, the role that you learn with your father.
Exactly.
Because disempowering that may free you for this one. There's a technique we call, it's called peeling the onion that helps us to do that. Okay?
I love them all.
So
Thank you.
what is the homework I gave you?
So I have to think of a place where I can feel safe and to be able to say, I see what you're doing and I don't have to react. And I have power to just be compassionate towards myself and say, let us stop here maybe. And
beautiful. And in that process, we need to learn access later. You need to say farewell to him.
yes, exactly.
You haven't
And
said
to
farewell.
also work on peeling the onion with my phone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
So, Alex, how was this chat for you?
This was amazing. Really eye-opening.
Beautiful.
Thank
so
you.
now the role to Christina.
Yes.
Go to Christina.
Christina.
Well done, Christina.
Thank you.
So, comments from the group. Do you think that Christina has been generous to us in presenting this case?
Yes, very generous.
Yes,
very insightful.
yes.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So let's share with Christina. Now, how was this process for you? Have any questions? Any comments?
Thank you to Carlos and to Christina, both of you. It was very interesting. And I was observing this conversation, and questions was so important, so good questions that when you are answering, that moment you're understanding, and wow, this is how it is. Yeah, and I think that if we will ask these kind of questions to ourselves in our problematic situations, we will have respond also. Not so huge respond and not so huge solving problem, but we will move on if we will have this kind of questions. But something that is not giving this opportunity is not to have time, this space you was mentioning. Someone said that you have space between you will react before you will react. Bye, Maite. And mostly I don't have a time because I also have the relationships and situations when I want to react differently, but because I'm acting the same and I do not have time to stop to think what I want to respond for now, I'm responding again the same thing as in the previous time, and it repeats and repeats, and very frequently. Frequently means not often, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it's because of my English, excuse me. It happens very frequently, but sometimes I'm reacting spontaneously. As Carl Gustav Jung was saying, when you are acting different, this is spontaneous action. And it's happening, unfortunately, very frequently, and it not gives me move on in most of situations.
Thank you.
Yes, having space is good.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Anna.
you. Thanks both of you. It's very important for me. Thank you.
Good. Any other comments from the process? The questions, how?
I was just thinking it's so sad that the client didn't seek help earlier.
Yes.
Like in the stages of the marriage problems, when she felt like trapped before it came to that escalation and to the separation. Maybe things would be different. Yeah. So it's important to seek help.
Absolutely.
Totally.
Well, if she was somebody who learned to play that role with her father, she was in a familiar space, That's very sad. I'm going to send you the role cascade of the domestic violence. That is a true story, and it's somebody from a leader in the church, that at home he was not was a nasty person. Good. Any other comments about the process?
Yes, it was very there was so much going on here. It's kind of all over the place. Things when you were in the role play, still you managed to answer quite clearly and kind of take out. Yeah, did that feel easy? Do you know this patient very, very well, or did it just feel easy to answer that clearly, kind of?
Yes, I've been working with her a lot, and she's very willing. She's very willing to work on this. And the last session, I had the feeling that something happened, but still she's in that spiral. But as Carlos said, she realized that she has a safe space. And now I realize that when Carlos said the Buber quote, "I am not me, I am it," this is exactly what she told me in that I'm a piece of furniture. I'm as if I don't exist. And we are working transgenerationally a lot, and peeling the onion is very hard for her because, of course, she doesn't want to disappoint. This family loyalty is so strong, and she wants to belong. So there are so many levels happening. Yes.
Beautiful.
I'm not familiar with the term "to be it." Does it mean you're not the subject anymore, or like a human in the play?
In Martin Buber, Angelique, can you put me and the person that is talking together?
You mean like this? You mean to bring Sylvia?
Me and the person.
You and Sylvia?
Yes. Can you?
Okay. Yes, of course.
Good. So in the course that we have, the Play of Life, we teach a lot of theory that helps the practitioner to see, this may be what is happening. So it helps us to see better. And Martin Buber talks about that the best relationship is the I and thou relationship, I and you. In that case, both are independent. And sometimes tension there, but we both grow together. Then there is another relationship that is I and I. I'm only with people who think like I am. That is very common in religion or politics. Or I meet somebody and I love that person because he's like me. But when the person changes a little bit, I don't like it anymore. and then I may treat people like I am it. No, that it,
I
like,
and
like
it.
like a thing, like a
Yeah,
furniture.
yeah. Okay, so if they change and not like yourself anymore, they just become the it.
A thing. Becomes
Okay.
a thing.
Okay.
And when I see that, I say, oh, this may be happening here, and help the therapist to know this is serious because the person has lost their identity.
Identity, yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comment about the technique and the process?
For me, maybe I would like to comment. Maybe for me, it is it was very seen like how important.
Angelique, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Would you see me? Oh, hear me? Yeah. For me, it's very important.
I can't see who's talking. Wait a second.
Brigitta.
Oh, here it is. I see you. Yeah.
Yeah. It was very important to hear how important it is to express, because this cascade, when you make this cascade in every point, in every moment of questioning, you point it that it's very important. How do you feel and how do you express it? This was very new for me. I think that I do like this in this way. I do, but maybe today I just noticed how important it is how you express it in this process that you show us, this cascade technique or something. Yeah, maybe I name it. Okay. It was so important to hear that it's so a big issue. How do you express it? I think that maybe me, like a psychoanalytic therapist, I always have such big issue about how do you feel? How do you feel? You know? But maybe I forget how do you express it.
Exactly.
This is so important. Yes. So
and life is very simple. It doesn't mean that
yes,
it's easy.
It is, but you know,
it's what I do and how I do it.
Yes.
It's like I can leave the house as a happy liver and I live with a blessing. But I can leave the house and open the door and shut the door. That is like a living with a curse. Both are living.
Yes.
Not so. What I live there. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Brigitta. One or more comments.
Yeah. Yes, I just wanted to add that it's really very important. How do you feel and how do you express it? Because often I feel different and I express different. Often I'm very angry and I'm responding like, haha, yeah, okay,
Nothing
of course,
happening.
with a smile. It's
And
a huge problem.
And also, it's important for us to sometimes ask the other person. I found that you responded to me very negatively or angry. How did you perceive me? You know, and just to listen. No, so this is to give the other person also the power, no, the agency.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
So
I can share.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So this was very powerful for me, and the most powerful space was where you helped the client identify where to respond from. And that was the point which actually gave me an insight for myself as well. So thank you for the work that we did today.
Perfect. Thank you.
I would just like to say a word, beautiful. It was just amazing to see the process. And there was a lot of learning, definitely, but it was like a beautifully crafted session. And I just loved it. Thank you.
Beautiful. So now that you started a feedback, I'd like to hear a few words from each one. How was this workshop for you? And if you're interested to continue these topics like this.
Insightful.
unexpectedly amazing. I never took the role of my client, and it was amazing. Thank you.
Well done. You've done very well. A gold star.
A good therapist. Thank you.
I think it's interesting to evolve awareness of this space, the space of where we can be creative and create a life, or like the world, how we kind of wish it, at least try and make it.
Beautiful. Others, how was this workshop for you?
I feel it gives like a sense of empowerment, because you're not a victim of other people treating you. You can empower yourself and respond in a better way.
Absolutely. So this is what Viktor Frankl says, in that space, in a space, I can enjoy freedom and choice. And so important.
Thank you, Carlos, and thank you, Christina, for the presentation. I really liked the method, how it was so structured, like a dissectomy, and that it helps the client identify this space that can be changed. Not for the therapist to say, there it is, The client realizes exactly where is the crucial point.
Yeah. And this is the idea, to help the client to grow. Anyone else like to share? How was it?
It was a feeler for me, and the touching. It touched me, touched my emotions, and also my experience. And it fills me. Now I will try to react differently. Thank you so much.
Well done. So I'd like to encourage you to have a look at the introduction to the Play of Life, because the Play of Life, all of this is part of a course, and it's a way. No, it's not the way, but it's a way to work. So I'm going to ask Adrian to send all of you the new PowerPoint. That is the one I presented. At the end of the PowerPoint, there is a link, and you will go to see the domestic violence case study, and we keep in touch. So
1,000 thank you.
Thank you.
As always.
Thank you, Sahara,
Thank you
for
so
that.
much.
And a nice rest of Sunday.
And have a very nice way of finishing the day.
It's impressive. It's
Sorry?
impressive to give a lecture at night time, I must say.
Midnight.
Yeah.
Yeah, a pleasure.
Tight, Carlos.
A pleasure.
Take care.
Well,
and
Merry
have a good-
Christmas. Merry Christmas. And if
Merry
there is
Christmas.
anything,
Merry Christmas.
we can support you with much love. I'm going to send very soon the list from workshop from the family therapy for next year. So you can see that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Merry
Angelique,
Christmas.
for your
Thank you,
for your
everyone.
help.
Merry Christmas.
My pleasure.
A lot of love. And Sahara, a lot of love, and I hope you send my love to the Singaporeans.
I
love you
definitely
very
will.
much.
I
Thank
definitely
you.
will. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.